Alright guys, so today I'm going to be talking about Kankan and what you can learn from the way he's kind of like marketing himself and created a brand around himself. And if you're wondering, what do you mean bro, what brand, what marketing? Kankan hasn't dropped anything in like a year and a half and he's still like really hot. Like people are still begging for music, people are still like, yo, come back. People are still like, man, they just love Kankan. Like he's got a strong fan base, which I'm not gonna lie, like yeah, I'm a fan. Like I was listening to Kankan when he was dropping, but I didn't expect him or realize that he could go this long without dropping, stay as relevant, and make even more money than he was making while dropping music. So I'm gonna go over it all. Here's a little background on Kankan though, if you don't know much about him. Kankan began as a producer way back, like 2017-ish. He produced for Famous Dex and Lil Pump, I believe. That was like a Lyrical Lemonade video. He produced for Smoke Perp. He produced for a bunch of people. He produced for young bands. Kankan on the beat, that was like his beat tag. He was a successful producer, and then he became a producer for Summers and Slay World, and he joined as kind of like, he became cool with them as a producer, and then he was rapping a little bit. He used to steal beats apparently from like other Slay World members, and he eventually became his own artist. He started forming this new sound with Summers. They were doing their thing, they had their wave of course, and then he just blew up in 2021. That entire underground scene just like skyrocketed. It was crazy. And Kankan was at the top because he was one of the originators and one of the people that was there for the longest. So, you know, people respected him. He had his own thing going. Yeah, he had a little controversy here and there, but he was cool. However, Kankan, eventually he dropped his album, Way Too Geeked. It didn't have a great reception. A lot of people were like, man, all these songs sound the same. This is trash, this is that. I thought it was pretty good. I actually thought it was a decent album. There's some good songs on there. Like, I think people just didn't like his low energy. If you don't know something about Kankan, it's kind of like a meme how he'll just stand. He performs like Lucky, except Lucky didn't perform how Kankan did when he was Kankan's age. Kankan will just stand there, and like there's a clip of Kankan on Rolling Loud, and he's just standing there. He's not doing anything. He's just like speaking to the mic every like 5 seconds, and the crowd is still going crazy though. But anyways, I got sidetracked. If you didn't know, Kankan hasn't dropped in like over a year. It's been an absurd amount of time since Kankan has dropped. Yeah, there have been tons of leaks, but you know, only your diehard fans are gonna go find those leaks. And maybe, you know, some people that kind of mess with them. I checked some of them out. They're cool, but not all of them are like very recent, and people are like, man, we want that new Kankan. But what's interesting is most artists of his level, they wouldn't be able to go that long. I feel like people would just lose interest. You know, people would stop asking. So the idea of this video is, what did Kankan do different, or what has he done different that allowed him to do that? Because I think it's kind of interesting. So the first thing about Kankan that I feel like separates him from so many other artists, and is the reason why he was able to get away with this, is because he has a personality. You know, like I think he used to cook. He's like, I don't know, you could like watch him on old Instagram lives. Like there's like this one video called Kankan cooking a steak off a perk on Instagram live. Like, I don't know, he's just mad funny. There's this thing called the Kankan method where he would sell like fake lean methods to people, and he was just a funny dude, you know what I mean? Like he's just a cool, funny guy that you could just kind of, not relate to. I'm sure none of his fans are like popping pills or sipping lean, but it's like, oh, this dude's a funny guy. It's more than just making music. Like people can actually like, I don't know, I wouldn't say relate to him. I wouldn't even say like be friends with him. He just seems like a cool dude, you know, you'd mess with. That's why I feel like a lot of people gravitated towards Kankan, because of his personality. If you didn't know, Kankan, he wasn't actually that great of a rapper in the beginning. He was just alright. He got really good eventually, but in the beginning it was more of like his personality. He was very like memeable, you know, the pictures he would take and the stuff he would do, and it would just create a lot of I wouldn't say controversy, but it was just very easy for like a meme of Kankan to go viral, or for fans to like be able to, you know, not laugh at him, but just be like, man, this dude is funny as hell. For example, there was this one time where Kankan and this kid joined us live, and he was like, hey Kankan.
Hola Kankan. Mijo, ¿estás desnudo? Sí. Ustedes son raro.
And that was like a huge meme for like so long. It's not as popular anymore, but you know, he used to have all these like sus Instagram lives, and
It's 3 seconds.
people would be like, bro, what? You know what I mean? Like, you know, like I'll play some clips of Kankan being funny, but
gave my nigga a perk, my nigga crying in this hole. Why you crying, Can?
Shit too beautiful, we in the air right now, bro.
Life too beautiful, huh? See, man.
he's just a funny dude, you know. He'd stream, he'd do this, he'd do that. So he had a whole personality, and that's what I mean by like how he built his brand and how he marketed himself. He didn't just market himself as like, man, because if you think about it, what did he rap about? He rapped about guns, drugs, and money, hoes, girls, all the stuff every other rapper raps about. But he wasn't exactly like, he wasn't afraid to just be like, oh, I'm funny, I'm cool, I'm like this. And you know, you don't really see that with a lot of rappers. There are people like Lucky and Summers who do that too, but for the most part, people, they just put on that hard image, and a lot of people, they don't actually like that. They don't actually like, you know what I mean? Sometimes people, obviously if someone is really like that, you should be like that, but I'm saying that helped Kankan a long way because, that helped him go a long way because he wasn't like what I'm talking about. He's not like some stoic dude. You know what I mean? He's just a funny, chill, like laid back guy. So it just fit him really well. The other thing he did really good is he understood how to like monetize that brand, you know? So a lot of artists, what they do is they get big and they just drop music, and yeah, they tour and they drop some like lazy merch, and then they do like meet and greets, and then they do all these like half kind of like okay jobs at all the stuff, and their management handles this and their label handles this and this guy handles this. Kankan is very smart about his money, and he's about his business 100%. One of the first things Kankan did when he got a lot of recognition and you know, just clout and popularity is he started a clothing brand. He started Really Rich, and Really Rich was like, I'm you know, he's gonna eat off that for a long time. I'm not gonna lie, when Kankan first dropped Really Rich, I was on vacation and I saw those pictures and I thought, man, you know, these designs are cool, but you know, is this just gonna be merch or is this like a real brand? I didn't realize what his plans were for it, and he kept dropping them and he kept building the brand, and now it's like it's selling out, it's going crazy. He even has like a more high ticket or like just expensive stuff. Like he's selling like designer jeans for like thousands of dollars, and it's just gonna be like, he's just gonna rework them. I don't know if you know how it works. They just take like, he's just taking expensive denim and putting his logo on it, but you know, his brand is expanding. He's selling like, he's about to sell products for thousands of dollars, and the only reason he's able to or is doing that is because people are gonna buy them, and they have been buying them. Like I'm pretty sure he sells out every single time, and he drops slippers, he drops like pins, stickers, hoodies, shirts, sweats, you name it, he's selling it and people are buying it. He also did a tour across the country, which he got a lot of hate for how he's performing, but I mean, you know, he sold a tour across the country, right? Like that's nothing, you can't discount that, right? Another thing is Kankan is independent. You know what I mean? Like he keeps all the streaming money to himself. Everything, every stream, every listen, anything you do relating to Kankan, stream him on YouTube, you stream him on Spotify, you buy something like some piece of merch, he makes 100% of that. It all goes to him and his team. So everything is kept in-house. If you didn't know, Kankan has more monthly listeners than Summers and even Sofago, which is crazy if you think about it, because Sofago, like he was all over TikTok. Yeah, Kankan's got a couple of like TikTok songs like Woke Up, but it wasn't anywhere near Sofago. And if you told someone that Kankan would be bigger than Sofago like 4 years ago, they just wouldn't believe you flat out. They would be like, what? But he is, you know? And that's because of how smart he was at distributing his music, marketing himself, establishing his brand, and those are things that most rappers don't really think about and they kind of slack on and they regret it later. Like imagine if Summers had started his own brand. Imagine if Sofago had started his own brand, you know, like they would have been doing better. Imagine if they had stayed independent. I mean, Summers, if he distributed all his music and stayed independent and had a brand, like he would have had more money than he has now signed, you know, like, but it is what it is. I just think Kankan is kind of underrated how smart he's been with his career. You know, you look at him and you don't really think of someone who's like so business focused or just really understands how to like monetize themselves, you know, like it's very rare these days, especially in his scene. So just salute to Kankan, shout out to him. You know, if you're an aspiring rapper, maybe you learned something from this. If you're a fan, maybe you also learned something from this. It's cool, you know, shout out to him. Thanks for watching, and see you tomorrow. Bye.